What an incredible week at Cassava. 110% gained in just 5 days, and I think that this still has a lot of gains to be made. If you are not aware of Cassava Sciences, this is traded on the Nasdaq with the ticker SAVA. This is a company that I spoke about on the channel before. Last month, when this was just $61, I made a video talking about the huge potential of the company, and not only do they have very strong financials and extremely strong fundamentals, but even Wall Street analysts rate this as a strong buy and over 100% upside from today's price. I will look at everything that you need to know over the next 10 minutes, so stick around. I think you're going to like what I've got for you. If you're new to the channel and want to hear more about exciting stocks about to make huge gains, then hit that like and subscribe button. Find out about these stocks before they make huge gains instead of finding my videos when you are chasing. Hit the bell notification and never miss a video that could potentially make you a lot of money. Before we get into the video, I want to say thank you. Over the past week or so, the channel just hit 7,000 subscribers. I appreciate the support so much, and I feel blessed to have you guys as subscribers to the channel. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I encourage everyone to do their own research if thinking about investing in this or any other company. Now let's dive into this exciting company. So Cassava Sciences has made huge gains in the past few days following a review by the Journal of Neuroscience showed that there is no evidence of data manipulation in a 2012 company technical paper. The article described an Alzheimer's disease treatment. Cassava Sciences stock tumbled in August following allegations of data manipulation. The SAVA share price had reached all-time highs of $146 back in July. However, following these allegations of data manipulation, SAVA lost over 2/3 of the company's valuation, hitting as low as $40 in September. However, the news this week justifies the company's higher share price, and SAVA has begun to claw back those losses. Despite gaining over 100% this week, SAVA is still another 60% gain away from returning to its July share price. So if you don't know everything about Cassava Sciences, let me explain this to you for the next 2 minutes, and then I will look at some very important news. Cassava Sciences is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company focused on neuroscience. The key focus of SAVA's R&D is to develop first-in-class medicines for people with debilitating neurodegenerative conditions, and their main mission is to detect and treat Alzheimer's disease. This is a huge addressable market with over 5 million people having Alzheimer's disease in the US alone and over 44 million people worldwide. This number is set to increase significantly in the years ahead, and there is no cure as of yet for Alzheimer's. New drugs for Alzheimer's remain elusive, and it is unlikely that any one drug will successfully treat the disease. All of this makes the case to consider the development of new and promising approaches for the treatment and diagnosis of Alzheimer's. Cassava's programs are being developed with scientific and financial support from the National Institutes of Health. There are two main programs: Simufilum, which is an investigational drug that represents an entirely new approach to treat Alzheimer's disease. It improves the function of multiple brain receptors and exerts powerful anti-neuroinflammatory effects. And SAVA DX, which is a blood-based diagnostic to determine Alzheimer's disease. The goal of SAVA DX is to make the detection of Alzheimer's disease as simple as getting a blood test, possibly years before the appearance of any overt clinical symptoms. The company plans to initiate a phase 3 program with Simufilum in Alzheimer's disease in the second half of 2021. Cassava own exclusive worldwide rights and related technologies without financial obligations to any third party. Composition of matter patent protection for Simufilum and other novel modules include 6 issued patents and currently run through 2033. In the US, there is no patent protection for SAVA XD, which is protected by trade secrets, know-how, and other proprietary rights technology. The team at Cassava is led by CEO and President Remy Barbier, who has grown and developed several publicly traded companies prior to Cassava. And as we can see here, the whole management team is vastly experienced, having held roles at major pharma companies, and between them have several FDA drug approvals prior to joining this company. So this article explains a bit better what's been going on at Cassava and describes this week's news. The author here says, We pegged this stock as a strong buy at $40 just a week ago, citing fast gains that could be made, but also the potential for multiple orders of gains should the signs hold up here. And I agree with this. Should the Alzheimer's drug get through trials and get FDA approval, then this would be a major medical breakthrough. Alzheimer's is not a new disease, but it is a brutal affliction. There is a lot of hope with this one for those suffering from Alzheimer's as well as their loved ones, and initial data readouts have been positive, showing a 10% average improvement, but also showing that there was a near 30% improvement in behaviours such as agitation and fear, and a 40% average improvement in Alzheimer's patients' overall cognition. However, there had been accusations of wrongdoing and allegations that data was forged in terms of the results. The company had been attacked. Today it saw a pretty sizable scientific victory, triggering a mini short squeeze. And this is something that I talked about in my previous video. And there is also significant short interest here too, with approximately 21% of the float shorted over time, providing the possibility here too for a short squeeze. In academia, the power of a journal is measured by the impact factor. The latest impact factor was a 6.17, which is top 10% of all academic journals. The peer-reviewed Journal of Neuroscience is respected and found no evidence of data manipulation. Yes, there was a mistake found, attributed to human error, that does not impact data conclusions. This is in no way a cover-up or a conspiracy. Given the massive short interest on the stock, trading had to be halted a few times this morning. There was a lot of covering happening, as well as paper hand selling in our opinion. The stock will likely normalise this week, but this is a major blow to the bears. This is a blow to the short thesis that has been published. At the end of the day, the drug will either be shown to be truly effective in the phase 3 trials or it will not. Based on what we know so far, we would be better on success here relative to the standard of care and competition's treatment. And I agree with all of this. This is an addressable market that currently has no extremely efficient drugs serving it. So provided that Cassava get through their phase 3 trials, then this drug could be a game changer. And we have upcoming earnings due next week. And then there is also the CTAD 2021 from November 9th to November 12th. This is the clinical trials on Alzheimer's disease 2021. And Cassava's SVP, Lindsay Burns, will be presenting clinical trials results. So hopefully this will provide a very strong catalyst next week. So what did the analysts think of Cassava Sciences? 4 analysts have set 12-month price targets for SAVA in the last 3 months. The average price target is $159 with a high forecast of $215 and a low forecast of $108, representing a 75% upside from the current price. Looking at market beat, we can see that SAVA is currently at the top of its 50-day range and still significantly lower than its 52-week high, with a market cap for the company now about $3.6 billion, which is still very low in my opinion considering the positive data that the company has, and they're going into a market with the potential addressable market size of Alzheimer's. Institutional investors here include BlackRock, State Street and Invesco, who have been adding to their position so far in 2021, with institutional ownership currently about 27%. And there is significant short interest here too, which I spoke about a moment ago. At the last updated figures, there was over 25% of the float shorted, with short interest of over 400 million and 1.2 days to cover. And we can see that the most recent ratings have been set by Jones Trading, B. Riley and H.C. Wainwright, who have reiterated their ratings with price targets of 215, 145 and 124 respectively. Looking at the company's most recent quarterly report, we can see that they have total assets of 281 million, which is primarily made up of cash and cash equivalents of $278 million. In contrast to this, we can see that they have liabilities of only 4 million, giving Cassava an asset to liability ratio of about 70-1. This is a fantastic financial position for a company in this industry. Note that this is a huge improvement on the December 2020 figures, which is due in part to net proceeds of $189 million from a public offering back in February. And looking at the income statement, we can see that the company has not yet recognized any revenue, which is normal for a pharmaceutical company at this stage, and after deducting operating expenses, this gives the company a net loss for the period of just $5 million. It's worth noting here that operating expenses are primarily made up of research and development, so that's good to see. So the next earning report is due out next week. If you want me to make an update video on SAVA, when this is released, and I will give you my thoughts on everything, then hit that like button and drop a comment down below. Tell me your thoughts about SAVA, or even just comment an emoji to show me that you appreciate the level of work that goes into making these videos. It shows me that you're enjoying my content, and it really helps the channel out with the YouTube algorithm too. Anyways, that brings us to the end of the video. If you're new, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out when I post an update video, and I'll catch you in the next one.